What's going on, boys and girls? Well, I did say by any means necessary. In my match preview video for this game, I said by any means necessary. The result is the only thing that matters, and I stand by that. And so, for as much as there was positives tonight, I do feel like there was some, I don't want to say negatives, because I said by any means necessary, but there were a few concerning things for me from tonight's game. But I'm not going to be too down in the depths on them. I'm going to try and focus more on the positives, and I'm just going to touch on the things that concern me a little. Look, first and foremost, big positives. Liverpool dropped more points, which is brilliant. I now think they are well and truly out of the equation. Chelsea, the champions of the world, the team that celebrated like they'd won the Premier League a few nights ago from getting a draw against us, lost to Leeds 3-1 and are now 9 points behind us. So that's a big positive from a point of teams around us dropping points. I thought another positive was the fact that we made quite a number of changes to the team and was still able to get a professional 2-0 win against arguably a very kind of dangerous and competitive team like Brentford. I was surprised to see Brentford make as many changes as they did, but still, from a point of set pieces, set up well, good structure, work ethic, compact team, they were always going to be a difficult proposition, and I think they proved that tonight despite the changes to the starting 11. I thought other positives were Ben White looked superb. It was brilliant to see Ben White not only play 90 minutes, but actually play to a really good level. I think Ben White's become a little bit of a forgotten man at Arsenal due to the fact that he's been out for so long with injuries and the fact that Timber's been so exceptional. White has kind of become that forgotten figure within the Arsenal squad, but I think it was great to see him put in a great performance and look like his old self. You know, the way he was linking up with Madueke was really popular and reminded me of his link up with Saka a couple of seasons ago. You know, he was providing another option on that right-hand side, doing that overlap that he's great at doing. And ultimately, it was his cross that set up the first goal of the night for Mikel Merino. Beautiful piece of play from Madueke where he kind of flicked it back behind him through to Ben White, who put in a lovely cross, and Merino got in front of the defender and put us 1-0 up. So that was a beautiful goal and a much needed goal because you could feel the tension within the stadium, knowing that we were going into this game only 2 points above City and how important a win was tonight. So I think that early goal was really important, particularly when you see how much we struggled to create chances after that. Other positives, I thought the centre-back pairing looked a lot better tonight, which was great to see. I thought Calafiori was really good tonight. He's just one of those players where defensively okay on that left back, in that left back position, defensively maybe not as rock solid as you want, but from a point of just creating absolute mayhem going forward, he just gets everywhere. Like at one point I saw him in the right wing position. He did some incredible runs tonight. He had that back heel to Martinelli. He should have scored I say should have scored, but he had that great run in the second half where he chopped it back inside, got a shot off with his right foot, and the goalkeeper parried it, and Merino probably should have put that in to go 2-0 up. But I thought Calafiori looked great tonight, and I think he's looked great all season. I thought Zubimendi was quietly really impressive, controlled things. Rice was his usual self. I thought Madueke's first 25 minutes were really good. He looked really dangerous, full of confidence, beating his man. But then I feel like he fell off a cliff a little bit after that, which was disappointing. Merino, you've got to give that guy props. Whatever you think of Merino, he has turned into a very clutch player for Arsenal. And he is someone that has been asked to essentially play out of position his whole entire career. And all in all, he has delivered. He might not be the most smooth on the eye type of player, but in terms of delivering the goods, i.e. goals, he's done that time and time again. And it's got to a point now where people are even actually having a debate around, does Gyökeres just walk back into that number 9 position right now? Or is it Merino's to lose? So I think that just shows how well Merino's done. And that first goal again, that was a big clutch moment. And not an easy header. For him to kind of time that run perfectly, cut in front of the defender and put us 1-0 up, that was a big goal. So they're my positives. The fact that we were able to rotate, still get the win. There were some good performances from some players. Our rivals dropped points, so it was in that sense it was positive. If I want to take a quick look at the negatives or the concerns, I think Martinelli. I love Martinelli. I love his work rate. I love his desire. I think he's a great team player. But I think all in all, he just hasn't kicked on as a player. I don't think he's improved as a player. And I know this season he's actually been really effective in that kind of impact role where he's come on with 20 minutes to go when defense is tiring, the game's getting stretched, and he's been able to sneak in behind and score a goal. And he's done that quite well. He's done it on a few occasions this season. But when he starts a game, particularly a game where you're playing a well-drilled side that is set up properly, is compact, is defending well, I just don't think he offers anything other than his work rate and his tracking back. And from an attacking left-sided winger, I want more than that. He doesn't beat his man enough. He doesn't have enough skill. He doesn't have the greatest of shots. He doesn't shoot enough. I think his decision-making is off. He looks lightweight. I think he gets bumped off the ball way too easy. And I just don't see him as a starter for Arsenal anymore. I just don't see it. I think his role is purely that impact player with 15 minutes, 20 minutes to go when we need to kind of stretch play or defenders are getting tired and we're already up by 2 goals or 1 goal. I'm just disappointed in I don't think he's at the level to be our starting left winger. What else? Ødegaard. And look, please caveat this by me being aware of the fact that these players I'm talking about, most of them are coming back from quite big injuries. And so I can't sit here and expect them to be at 100% and playing with complete confidence and playing to their level, coming back from injury like they are. But I still think we should be seeing more. And I'm not just purely talking about this game. I'm talking more in general in the last kind of year and a half. And Ødegaard in particular, for me now, for a period of 18 months, if not longer, has been so far below his standard. It's not funny. Again tonight, he's come back from injury, a couple of decent injuries. He's hardly played this season. This was his first start, his first 90 minutes. So from a point of actually getting through 90 minutes, that's a positive. But how do I say it? He doesn't impact the game. What Ødegaard does at the moment is he goes all the way back into that deep-lying 6 role, gets it from Raya or the central defenders, and then just passes it on and kind of trudges up the field. When he does get the ball high up the field, he usually passes it sideways or backwards. I'm not seeing any kind of killer instinct from him in terms of, I'm not seeing that amazing through ball to set up a goal chance. I'm not seeing any shots on goal with aggression. I'm just not seeing enough. He looks incredibly lightweight. He doesn't look like he wants to get in on a challenge, which might be off the back of these unfortunate injuries he's had. But I'm just not seeing enough from our supposed number 10, our creative magician. I'm just not seeing enough of it. And I think he's getting into dangerous territory where he could find himself on that bench more and more. Not that I think Eze's blown the world up, but I think Eze has done more in the last few weeks in that 10 role that makes me think he should be our starting 10 over Ødegaard. So as I said, I'm holding fire, but Ødegaard needs to up the ante big time for me. Big time. Another negative was Mosquera going off with an injury. That's another centre-back now on the injured list. I'm praying that it's not that bad, but I'm also praying that Saliba is back for the Aston Villa game on the weekend, because that is going to be a incredibly difficult match. We'll focus on that in another video coming out soon, but for me, it's vital that Saliba comes back for that game. What else? I don't think there's anything else really. I think at the end of the day, it wasn't a great performance. There were a lot of changes, so it was just one of those games where we just needed to get the result. So I'm not going to dive too much into the performance. It's been a big week, just over a week. Tottenham, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, now Brentford. We've got Aston Villa on the weekend. Declan Rice. I really hope that was more a case of just a knock and he'll be fine, because I was actually quite amazed that he started this game, or at least was made to play basically the entire 90 minutes. I'm confused by the Norgard signing. Like, I know Norgard is not Rice, and I know that's a significant drop-off, but if we can't start Norgard at home to Brentford, when can we start him? Like, why did we sign Norgard? He's barely played any football this season. He knows Brentford. He was the captain there. He kind of knows what they're about. I think he could have started this game instead of Rice. And you could have just allowed Rice to kind of freshen up and prepare for what's going to be a massive game against Aston Villa. And again, if we go into that Aston Villa game now without Saliba and Declan Rice, that is big time concerns for me. So really hoping that Rice incident is nothing too major. He seemed quite happy coming off. He was high-fiving everyone, and it doesn't seem like it's anything too significant. But I felt like this was a missed opportunity to give Rice a bit of a break, because he has played basically 4 games in the space of 7 days. So yeah, anyway, all that matters is we got the 3 points. We've gone back to a 5-point lead over City, and things are looking good. But as I said, an incredibly difficult game coming up on the weekend against Aston Villa, which I am very nervous about, particularly not really sure about who's fit. But if we can win that game, we're looking good. So anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.